I will be streaming Silent Hill 2 tonight on twitch.tv. Go subscribe to my new YouTube channel so I can get monetized. And I'm going to be jumping into a horror film review. Movie film 49 out of 50, folks. One more movie left for the Spook6ular. And this is the penultimate film. Last night, I watched Silent Hill Revelation 3D. So, and once again, tonight I'm going to be playing Silent Hill 2 for the Halloween stream. So be sure not to miss that. I thought I would do a double feature on this and review the second and currently final Silent Hill film. And I'm going to be honest, I've seen this movie 2 times. This is the second time I've watched it last night. And so I'm not going to lie to you. The first time I watched it, I did not like this movie. I thought the first Silent Hill movie is actually really good. The first Silent Hill movie is really good, in my opinion, up until that weird, like scratchy old film flashback scene in the church stuff. I thought that was way too bloated and a really poor storytelling device. But mostly, I would say Silent Hill is a very good interpretation of the Silent Hill universe. And Silent Hill Revelation 3D, it is not one. It is not that. Let me tell you. Okay, so now again, the major thing about this movie is that the CG... The CG enemies are not, like, they look like there's something, they look like it's a video game model, but, like, it's stuff that's not really from the game, or, like, really poor interpretations of things from the game, and so, it's also like that, and I'm mostly talking about, like, this, like, spider mannequin creature, like, it's cool, I like it visually, but it doesn't hit as well as the monsters in the first movie. It just feels like, you know, even though there's like a 6-year gap in production between this movie and the first Silent Hill film, the CG got worse, it seems, in my opinion. Now, this is supposed to be a 3D film, and so there's a lot of shit that comes and pops into the foreground of the screen. I did not watch this. Neither the first time or the second time with 3D glasses, so I don't know how it works as a 3D film. But I gotta say, a lot of this movie is good. One of my favorite scenes in this movie is, so this movie is very loosely based. It's a sequel to the first Silent Hill film, first and foremost, but it's also very loosely based on Silent Hill 3, the game, which is also a sequel to the first Silent Hill game. But of course, the first Silent Hill film, instead of having Harry Mason go to Silent Hill, they had an adopted mother named Rose go to Silent Hill. And then, again, they're different characters, right? It's not like a Harry equivalent. It's just a completely different character. The parents are just different characters than they are in the games. But one of my favorite lines in this movie is, so it shows that they're on the run, and they change their names. So in this movie, they changed their names to Heather and Harry, which are the same names of the characters in Silent Hill 3. And then the main character, Heather and or Sharon, whatever you want to call her, she goes on this like little spiel about like, you know, it doesn't matter, our names don't matter, all of this is irrelevant, you know, we're just sticking together or whatever. And it's like, to me, I love that because it kind of like, it's a self-referential like acknowledgement that, yeah, like this is not an identical film adaptation of Silent Hill 3. Now, again, same names and stuff like that, but again, it's their own interpretation. So I enjoy that. So that's cool. That's at the start of the movie, and that's the coolest part. I like fourth wall breaking in dialogue. But anyway, so this movie deviates from the video game Silent Hill 3 pretty much instantly. So she goes to school, and then like after school, she has this dramatic like classroom speech at school, and then like another new kid wants to be friends with her. And then, you know, like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, she starts seeing creatures at the mall. And it's very, again, like, the best parts of Silent Hill 3 that are referenced in this film are referenced in, like, the worst ways possible. Like, the private detective, Doug, is killed off pretty much instantly in this movie, when his best moments in Silent Hill 3 are way later, when, you know, near the end of the game are his best moments. In this movie, he just gets killed, and his role is kind of replaced with this random schoolboy who happens to be like a spy assassin from like the cult, you know, and it's just, it's a weird interpretation. Like, I get it. They wanted to have the nods to Silent Hill 3 and then do their own thing. I get it. But just like the things that they did that was the own thing, I mean, it wasn't that great. Now, I will say, some of the best interpretations of Silent Hill 3 that do take place in this film and look really good are the circus scenes. The dream sequence at the very beginning of the movie is very similar to the dream sequence at the very beginning of the game, Silent Hill 3. That's one of the things I enjoy about Silent Hill 3, is it has that dream fake-out sequence at the start. The movie does that really well, and then the ending, when she actually enters the carnival, it looks really good, and it does that like tie around loop like with the dream sequence, and it's that part excellent. I also got to say, Pyramid Head is in this movie really just because casual Silent Hill observers know, oh, that guy, Pyramid Head, right? I don't know how that even became a thing, right? Pyramid Head is not really even advertised at all in Silent Hill 2, but I guess that became what casual non-Silent Hill fans know about Silent Hill. They just know about the guy with the pyramid head, I guess. That's just... So he's in the movie. And like his role in the movie is to just be badass. Like, that's his role. He's not really an enemy in this film, because Heather, aka Sharon, is the like innocent soul thing. You know, Alessa, the evil spirit that creates the nightmare world, the other world, right? Like, put her innocence inside of a different baby, and that's Heather. But when Heather goes back to Silent Hill, Pyramid Head is, you know, he's a, you know, I guess he's like the guardian of Alessa, but because Heather is also a piece of Alessa, he's like on both of their teams, right? Something like that. This movie also has like some really like they just copied Hellraiser in a lot of instances. Like, a lot of the monsters just look like Cenobites from Hellraiser, like Chatters, you know, is very it's very silly. But anyway, the final fight where there's like a Cenobite versus Pyramid Head, it doesn't make any sense, like, the story-wise, but it is awesome. Seeing Pyramid Head, like, fuck up another monster for no reason is awesome. The story of it, again, in the broader Silent Hill universe, you know, I don't really care about that. You know, Silent Hill 2 is Silent Hill 2. The Pyramid Head in Silent Hill 2 is not changed based on other people's interpretations or additions to other areas where it doesn't make sense, right? So I don't care. This, you know, the Silent Hill films have Pyramid Head in them, and Pyramid Head is a guardian of Alessa and or Heather and or Sharon. But even then, within that own framework, you know, not within the greater framework of the universe, but within the film universe, it still doesn't make any real sense. But it's cool. It's cool when you see like the giant sword swinging, and you know, like, oh, if you had the 3D glasses on, that sword would be swinging like directly out there into the screen. That's cool. But overall, this movie is just... The good parts of this movie, like the otherworld scenes, the transition scenes, like when they're in the hotel and there's the transition scenes, the air horns, right? Like the circus imagery, like the good stuff in this movie is really, really good, but the bad stuff in this movie is really, really bad. And it's not like Silent Hill, the first film. The first film, the good stuff is really good and the bad stuff is not that bad. Whereas in this movie, the good stuff is really good and the bad stuff is really bad, right? Like the main, like the Harry Mason equivalent character is basically just not even in the movie at all up until the end. And the scene that he's in the end where he's like, I got to go back into the other world to find the wife from the first movie. That's good. That's good. That's a good moment. That's a good ending. They set it up for another sequel. Obviously, this movie came out 10 years ago and we haven't gotten a sequel to it. Although there has been recent news this month that there will be another Silent Hill film. So, well, we're not sure, you know, no one really knows unless you know. It was like some statement somewhere that I should read, but I'm not sure if it's going to be a sequel to this movie or if they're just going to try to do a reinterpretation of the universe and a new kind of story of the films. I'm open to either one. I'm open to both, ideally, because again, you know, the characters in Silent Hill and Silent Hill Revelation, they're not as good as the characters in the games. But it's obvious that this was meant to be a trilogy, and I would like to see the characters get a conclusion at the very least. But again, if it doesn't happen, it's probably due to the fact that this movie really was not that good. But again, the otherworld imagery in this film, it's okay. It's really good, actually. But the main problem is that it's very barely used. It's very barely used. Right? In the first movie, there was like the otherworld stuff happening every other second. In this movie, it's a couple of scenes, and then the scenes last very short. They're very short intervals, and it's just it's like this movie is like you're waiting for the good parts the whole time. They keep teasing you that the good parts are still like really good, and but then it's only like a small fraction of the film. And then the original Silent Hill film, the 2006 film, is like about 2 hours and 15 minutes in length. This one is only 90 minutes. So again, they have a lot less time to build up the atmosphere. But if this movie got an extra half hour, and that half hour was really well spent with the otherworld scenes and all that, then again, this movie just feels like it was almost good, right? Like the good stuff in it is really good, but then I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was studio meddling. I don't know if like just the director didn't have a good enough vision. I don't know if there just wasn't consensus on the production of this film. I don't know, but like this movie is just not that good. But again, the good parts in it, if you like Silent Hill, my take on this, if you're a Silent Hill fan, watch the movie. The good parts are good. The fights with Pyramid Head, they don't make any sense. It doesn't matter. Just watch it. It's cool visuals, and that's pretty much it, right? Just watch the movie one time, get some cool visuals, try to ignore like the B movie plot, and get what you can out of it, because there is some good stuff in here. But again, I genuinely would recommend the first Silent Hill film to anybody. If you don't know anything about Silent Hill, whatever, I think the first Silent Hill film is genuinely a good horror film and a good video game movie. I just think it's really good. Like, there is some bad stuff in it, but like, still overall, it's a pretty great film. This Silent Hill Revelation is not that, right? It is overall like a very cheesy movie, but it's not cheesy in the good way. It's just cheesy in like the confusing, why are these characters even in existence kind of way. Like, it's just like, I don't know. It feels like every plot point is just not nearly expanded upon enough. Also, I don't remember scratching my hand, but like, look at this. Maybe Max did this? I'm not sure. But I just realized that like my hand is fucked up. You see that? You see that scratch on my hand? That red line? Look at this. It's weird. Anyway, there you go. Once again, tonight on twitch.tv, I'll be playing Silent Hill 2 all the way through. I'll be starting the stream at around 5. And tomorrow will be the 50th film. That's right, 50 films in a row. The Spook6ular is coming to an end tomorrow, November 1st, because tonight's Halloween, right? I gotta watch a movie on Halloween, and I'll talk about it tomorrow. So, but there you go. Silent Hill Revelation as our penultimate choice. You know what? It's okay. It's okay. I gotta say, I enjoyed it a lot more the second time I watched it. Because I went in knowing that the bad stuff was in there, and I went in with the little miner hat on with the light and a pickaxe, and I was spelunking for the good stuff. And you know what? If you just pay attention to the good stuff, it's an enjoyable 90 minutes, I'll tell you that. So there you go.